The heat is on in South Beach. Cole Sports presents on the Daily. Welcome back to my channel. Cole Johnson here on the Daily Zone tab presented by Cole Sports. And if you haven't already, like this video. And I want to hear what you have to say. So comment below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell for any and every premiere that you get for this show. And as an added bonus, the shirt that you see here, you can find that in the description box below. Now let's get to it. So in the NBA playoffs, in the bubble, we've seen some mighty feats. Like we've seen Anthony Davis assert himself as the number one guy for the Lakers. We've seen the Celtics and the Raptors give us a thrilling series. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm doing this incorrectly. They gave us a thrilling
Game 7.
The Jazz and Nuggets gave us a
Game 7.
And then the Nuggets and the Clippers gave us a
Game 7.
But the talk of the town really has not been the team that I'm going to mention now. And that talk, well, it is the Miami Heat. Now, all they've done is just simply run roughshod through all of their opponents in the playoffs. And now they are on the precipice of getting to the NBA Finals for the first time in 6 years. Will they get there? Let's see. And I got 5 reasons as to why I think they will in the list. Now, in totality of it all, we have seen a lot of good offense from the Heat. We've also seen a lot of good defense from the two. It's been a mixed bag of different things that you would ordinarily see on a team, finding a way to make sure they win a game, or I guess in this case, a series or two. And here are the 5 reasons why I think the Heat are this close to reaching the NBA Finals for the first time in 6 years. The first one, well, it's simple. The championship pedigree is there, and it starts with the coaching. You know, Eric Spoelstra was basically nothing more than your video analyst, videotape guy, back when the Heat were winning championships in 2006, when, yes, I know, when it was Wade County. And he asserted himself into the head coaching position when we all thought Pat Riley would do the job once LeBron James got to town, but it ended up being Spo, as he's affectionately called in the NBA circles. Well, all Spo did was go to the finals 4 times, win it twice, and now he's knocking on the door to a 5th finals trip as a head coach. There is a lot to be said about that. I mean, he knows what it takes to get to June. Funny, I'd say June, and they will be playing the playoffs in August, September, and October, right? But he knows what it takes to get to the finals and in the conference final stages. He's been there more than once. And now he is there with a team that is not nearly as talented as the 4 previous ones he coached to that level. And I think this is what makes his job even more spectacular, because you got a guy who has learned those lessons. He is a gym rat. He is a video rat. He studies, and it shows, because we have a fundamentally sound team playing in today's style. And you got a coach who has the leadership abilities and capabilities to lead them there and possibly a chip if things fall the right way. The second reason why I really believe that the Heat are on the precipice to an NBA Finals trip this year, well, if the coaching's right, then normally the front office is right too. I mean, the owner, Arison, he's the type that's like, look, I don't care what it takes, just as long as we win. I mean, he was that way when he brought Shaq to the South Beach area in 2004. And then 2 years later, they win a championship then to help out Dwayne Wade. He was that way in 2010 when the aforementioned him and Chris Bosh came on to help out Wade, and they went to 4 finals consecutively and won 2 of those 4. And they brought forth last year a guy that I'm going to mention a little later, and look at the fortunes of the team now. And then you have Pat Riley, who is a guy that sets the tone. I mean, he does not expect anything but greatness to come out of his organization, no matter if he's the coach, the GM, or in this case now, the president of basketball operations for the team. He wants excellence all the time, no matter who, no matter what, no matter where. Everybody has to be in one singular focus. And that's been his way for as long as we can remember. And I'm talking about as far back as when he became the head coach of the Showtime Lakers way back in 1981. Reason number 3 as to why I really believe that this team is on the precipice to an NBA Finals trip. It's a simple proverb. The egos are checked at the door. And this is a story I always like. This is an anecdote I always love to tell. Now, Quincy Jones, the famed and prolific music producer, he was the guy who was going to conduct and produce the USA for Africa song "We Are the World." And as the stars came and the singers came and the musicians came filing in one by one, there was a sign on top of the door. And that sign said, quote, "Check your egos at the door." Close quote. Now, there was really no issue from what I can understand. And yes, this is something that happened way back in 1985, but still, that philosophy is what is carried over. And I think it has a lot to do with Riley, because he is a person who believes that you should check all egos at the door, that it doesn't matter if you're the first man or the 15th man, you all play a role in the team. And if you all are on the same page, it doesn't matter what pecking order in which you are on the team, you're going to succeed. That is what Pat Riley believes. And that's what this Heat team believes. And you can see it permeate all throughout the whole organization and the 15 players who are on the court, or I should say the 5 on the court and the 10 on the bench. And that leads me to number 4. The fourth reason as to why I believe they are on the precipice to an NBA Finals trip: Jimmy Butler. I really believe that Butler, after not liking it with the Timberwolves, after not really feeling his way in trusting the process in Philly, he really has found his home and he has found his niche in South Beach. He has the right coach. He has the right general manager. He has the right president. And he has the right owner who really believes in the same way that he does, which basically is, it's no BS, no egos. I don't care how we win, just as long as we do. And if it means I have to score 40 points, or if I score 4 and I have to pick it up on the defensive end, so be it. It doesn't matter. I want to win. Winning is more important than getting 20, 10, and 10 for me. And that is the mentality that Jimmy Butler has, and it is permeated through the rest of the team. I mean, you look at Goran Dragic, the point guard of the team. He already was an unselfish point guard, but it's been brought to a higher sense and a higher light because of Butler. And then on top of it, we're seeing Dragic's offense come up. And it's amazing to see that. And you're seeing defensive players like Jay Crowder, like Bam Adebayo, who they get after it on the defensive end, but then you see them take their turn and produce on the offensive end too. That is a direct correlation to what Jimmy Butler brings. And when you have an unselfish number one guy, you're gonna have the success that you're seeing the Heat have right now. And that takes me to number 5. The 5th reason why this team is bound for the NBA Finals. It is real basic, real simple. It is defense first. If we didn't know this by the block shot of, or I should say the block dunk attempt by Jason Tatum by the previously aforementioned Bam Adebayo, it would be in game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals, where Jimmy Butler, the number one guy, gives you not 1, not 2, but 3 steals in the final 4 minutes of that game. Defense is what's important. They love to communicate. They thrive on communicating, and that is key to any championship team that gets this far. They all have to be in sync, and they have to be in sync all the time, no matter who it is. Oh, and speaking about being in sync, I'll give you an added reason as to why I really believe that the Heat are on the precipice to an NBA Finals trip. The Celtics do not seem to be in cohesion. They seem to be in disarray. After game 2, after they blew that double-digit lead and lost to take themselves down 2-0 in their series, it was reported that there was an outburst, that you had players who were biting at each other and snapping at each other. When you have the cohesion that the Heat do and the Celtics looks like they don't, those types of results happen. The Heat are serious. I mean, they've only lost 1 playoff game thus far in the playoffs. And when you have a team who is locked in and that focused, chances are you're going to have a hard day at your office. It's going to be a hard day at the job. You got to bring your lunch pail, because this team will not give you any easy points. They will not give you any easy quarters. They may not have the offense at times, but they will find a way and scrap and claw and scratch to get themselves either back in the game or pull away from you. When you have a bunch that believes in one another like the Heat do, watch out for whoever plays them in the NBA Finals. Now, if you think that the Celtics are not going to go gently in that quiet good night, you think they're going to come back and win the series and they will go on to the NBA Finals, or if you think I'm right and the Heat are on their way there, I want you to like this video, and I also want you to comment below. Please tell me what you think, because I really want to hear what you have to say. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell to get any and all premieres of Cole Sports on the daily and Another Thing, and any other content that comes from this channel. And speaking of this channel, I have to go. For all of us here at Cole Sports and on the daily, I am Cole Johnson. Thank you so much for joining me. And this has been yet another installment of Cole Sports on the visual and on the daily.